Alright, now, let's go over this again. When you're told to go 55 in the speed limit, are you supposed to go even 1 mile over the speed limit? No. But most people in real traffic go probably 5-10 miles over the speed limit, sometimes, like I said before, just to get out other people's way. Now here's the problem. Every one of us are supposed to go 55. But how many of us actually do? None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Not even the police. Whether they're chasing the felon or not, right? But you can't necessarily, right, without a radar gun yourself, right, even to prove if the cop's speeding, right, you know what I mean, right, and bust him for it, right, you know, hypothetically. There we go again with that word, hypothetically. But, if someone speeds off at a high rate of speed, they can also chase the person to turn on their lights, right? But otherwise, like any other citizen, what's their speed limit? 55 too. Right. Now, right, that's an example, right? Now, no one, though, right, even if the cop's going 65 or 70 himself, can prove without the radar gun he's speeding, you know what I mean? Right. But if he is, you can't write him a ticket. You're not the police, right? You understand what I mean? Right. Two. But you don't know how fast he's going, only how fast you're going. So as soon as you see the cop, everybody does what? Slows down. Even if you were speeding a minute ago, right? That's why some of you get caught in what's called the speed trap, right? You're not going the speed limit. Now, unlike me, I got a few tickets I got out of. Maybe Tim helped me with one. I don't know. Maybe not. But here's the point of what I'm doing. If I'm speeding, say, down Jimmy Deloach a little bit, right? Say I'm going 60 into 45, right? Why, if this officer sees I'm disabled and my address is 40 Noble Jones Court in Portland, Georgia, might he let me off with a warning? If he were to. I know. Hypothetically still. Because all I'm doing is trying to get on home as fast as possible, too. There's really not a lot of traffic on the street itself. And when he realized I was a disabled veteran, he realized I was just trying to get on home as fast as I could, but might have went a little over the speed limit, no more than 15 miles, right? But still was in no danger of hurting anyone, right? And was still following the general rules of the right. Other than I was going maybe 15 down the straightaway. Right. But if you're waiting for someone, right, that's also called a speed trap, right? Right. See, sometimes when you're having your feet, you're just driving, right? You might suddenly be at 60 and you're not paying attention either, right? I'm just trying to get on home from the movies, right? What you would say, hypothetically, again, if it were to happen to me, right? It's an example. Whether it happened or not ain't your business whether the policeman let me off or not, right? But if I tell you the story and he let me off, right, you can't get mad, right, at his decision to let me off, right? That's what it seems like you're doing to me, right? I'm not trying to do nothing wrong, but you're accusing me of molesting a 4-year-old stepdaughter who was leaving with her mom, right? I even confessed something to you about it. I'm sleeping on the couch. I could have molested her, but didn't. Do you not understand that? Am I talking to someone who cannot comprehend English? Right? Or did something happen so briefly I forgot it and my ex-wife knows what happened, but is trying to get revenge for it because she let it happen and feels guilty or something? See, if I'm on the couch, only if the child comes into the living room unescorted and I'm suddenly thrust to be with her, could I even interact with her without the wife knowing? Or if she does know, she might be trying to entrap me, right? That's the problem with all this, right? A 24-year-old woman cannot set up her 24-year-old husband with his stepdaughter and let her wake him up. That's wrong too, right? One, I'm schizophrenic. You don't know what I would do with that child, whether it was sane or insane, right? Would you, if you knew I was schizophrenic, allow your 4-year-old stepdaughter to wake me up in the middle of the night if I'm asleep on the couch and not bothering you or her? No, you wouldn't, right? You would lock the door or something, or you would make sure she could wake you up before she goes out, right? You know what I mean? Because once she's in the living room with me, all I got to do is try and figure out what she needs, right? Now, two of the things could look weird on camera if you're recording it somehow. Trying to, again, I'm not aware there's a camera in the home. But if there is one, right, is my ex-wife trying to entrap me, right? Making me and the girl the victims there. Both of us, really. I'm not expecting her to wake me up in the middle of the night. And she shouldn't really have to worry about waking me up either. She's with her mom, right? You see, the logic, right, is not unrational logic, right? Even if I'm mentally ill by 93, I made it into the Navy and was on the ship for almost 2.5 years, right? Even with the problems with my ex-girlfriend, Sheena, I'm trying to move on when I met Daphne. I let Sheena go. I wrote her my last letter. Never contacted her again, right? In any way, shape, or form, right? But the problem is when you're confused about love yourself and you don't know what's going on with someone on another ship, that's not the kind of harassment where you're working in the same ship. I was dealing with harassment on my ship myself. See, the problem is my electrician buddies weren't training me to be an electrician. I didn't know how to work on any of the equipment they were supposed to train me on, right? Hell, I didn't even know what it looked like. You understand? Right. I never worked on the shipboard equipment, anything electrical day in my life. Not even when I was in the Navy. Right. And that's bad. That's very bad. Now, if I'm diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, who gave them the idea? Me or my shipmates? Your shipmates. Okay. Why? They weren't training you. Right. They were also not training me and giving me bad evals. They also kept asking me if I was gay more than 3 times, right? Or at least 3 times, right? I kept saying no. And this is 92, and no. I'm not gay. I like women, right? Never said nothing different. Never said nothing different. Either. Now, in the dating world, here's the problem too. The age of consent to sex, right, is different in most states, but usually is 16, like in Georgia, or 18, like in Virginia. And you see, I know the age of consent in those states, right? Reason for that being is, again, I have to make sure the woman I'm with is legally old enough to be with me, and I pretty much do, right? Now, you could tell an older woman from a child pretty much easily. The problem is when they get into their teenage years, right? Okay. 16 to 18 is usually legal, though, in my state or most states, right? The thing is, I don't want, you know what I mean, or know how to really date a 16-year-old since I'm 52, you know what I mean? I keep trying to explain this to them. I don't know how to date anyone.